Dear parents, there's a saying, growth is painful, change is painful, but there's nothing as painful as staying where you don't belong. Our world has changed thanks to COVID, and so has the education. At MPS, what doesn't belong is old methodologies and ways of teaching. A curriculum that doesn't secure a future for your child. At MPS, we are implementing and embracing change. We are employing new methodologies, first class, world class. We are looking towards a curriculum that has a better future for your child, and we are looking at our relationships with our learners and our students. We are embracing this change with a new MPS brand that will be rolled out in the near future. As parents, who are important stakeholders of MPS, we would like to invite you to join us in this journey going forward, and I would like to thank you for your continuous support of MPS.
The MPS Re-Imagined project started in 2020, and it was important for us to approach any form of change in a very considered manner. So we want to take some time today to talk you through the process that we went through and the outcomes of the MPS Re-Imagined project. So the first thing we did was we started with the MPS original vision. It was important for us to look at the foundations of the school and to build on that. The vision of MPS: together we strive to be a unique school of excellence, passing on a Christian legacy for future generations. And this vision was accompanied by a very clear mission, and that is to deliver personal attention to every single student, excellent education, to leave a Christian legacy, and to do all of that in a unique environment. So this was a really good starting point for us. It laid the foundation on which we needed to build whatever change it is that we want to make. But it was also very important for us to consult with the key stakeholders of the school. So we spoke to our MPS parents, we also spoke to our MPS teachers, and we consulted with the board of the school. And this all happened through a number of surveys that went out. And what we learned through this process is that our parents, our teachers, and our board really value academic excellence. They're all looking for a safe and healthy environment for children. They do value individual attention and development. They all loved the Christian values and discipline and really wanted to see more of that. And they are looking for progressive innovation when it comes to education. Then what we did is we also looked at our competition. We wanted to assess what they offer in the market and how that compares to the offering of MPS. And we also wanted to measure how unique MPS is within the marketplace. After we analyzed the survey from our parents and our teachers, and we looked at the competitor landscape, we asked, how do we express the MPS value in a simple statement that will capture the hearts and minds of our audience? Now, in order for us to answer this question, we needed to go through a couple of steps. So the first step for us was to define what we do well as a school. And what we can say is that we are one of the Western Cape's top 5 performing schools. We offer academic excellence. We've got a 100% pass rate, and we've now introduced the IEB curriculum. We also have innovative learning methodologies. We partnered with Keller to bring about innovative learning and teaching methodologies at MPS. We've got dynamic teachers. And we have a very unique environment that supports whole person development. And lastly, we have a Christian ethos and values. Then Step 2 was for us to establish then what makes us unique. If we know what we're good at, we also need to know what makes us unique within the marketplace. And we believe it sits in the space of high touch. We believe that we provide high touch education in a high-tech world, and that is what makes MPS unique. So you may ask, why high-touch education? What does that even mean? So we do believe that technology is necessary for innovation and progress, but it should not be at the expense of our humanity and our human connection. We are only starting to see the effects of a hyper-digital world on human development, and high touch is what we as humans need, not high-tech. And we believe it is high-touch education that we do best at MPS. It's what makes us uniquely MPS. And then we moved on to step 3. We wanted to define the MPS brand personality and values. We wanted to define the brand character and the unique human connection that the MPS brand will display. We explored 16 different brand archetypes, and we believe that MPS is a hero brand archetype because it's inspirational and it's got motivating characteristics. The hero is naturally determined, achievement-oriented, and focused. And what it means to be a hero brand is to be brave with integrity. We are all about rising to the challenge, and we instinctively seek to protect and inspire others. We are determined to leave a mark on the world, even if it's at the risk of great sacrifice. We want to inspire others to believe in themselves as much as we believe in them. We inspire and motivate and cheerlead our students to do more, to be more, and to have more. We want to leave a legacy, and we don't mind sacrificing for it. This ambition makes us quick on our feet and helps us to make fast and smart decisions. Our goal is to improve the world, and our motto is that it takes a village to raise a child. So you can expect from us candid, honest, and brave conversations. And from a culture perspective, we are achievement orientated, and we hold ourselves to high standards that require dedication. We have a clear sense of conviction that is lived out daily and feels the passion to make a difference and overcome challenges. And you will experience from us a sense of inspiration. We want you to be empowered, determined, and motivated. We want you to believe, we want every student and every parent to believe that they can overcome the challenges with action. Then, in addition to our personality as a brand, we know that it's not hard to make decisions when you know what your values are. And we want to share with you our values. The first value that we have at MPS is Christ centricity. That means that we put Jesus Christ first. Secondly, we have respect as a value, which means that we treat others like we want to be treated. We also value integrity. We do the right thing even when no one is looking. And we value quality. We take pride in what we do. We also value courage. We dare to be the change we want to see in the world. And lastly, we do value innovation. We want to challenge the status quo. We always want to ask if there is a better way to do things. And now that we know what is our personality, we know what our values are, we know what we're good at, we know what makes us distinctive, we wanted to bring all of this together in one succinct brand story, which we want to share with you. MPS is a place where ChangeMakers are raised and released through a unique combination of high-touch quality education and innovative learning methodologies that take place in a unique environment underpinned by Christian values. And what we've put together is a bit of a manifesto. It's a declaration of what we believe as a school. And I'm going to read that for you. Here's to the ChangeMakers. One pen, held by one student, guided by one teacher, can change the world. And it is with this belief that we raise and release ChangeMakers every single day. Inspired and guided by the biggest change maker of all times, Jesus Christ, we teach and grow in the truth and boldness of the lion and the kindness of the lamb. We celebrate our change makers who see things differently and are courageous enough to swim upstream. The ones that take a stand even in the face of adversity. We are the ones who push the human race forward. And while some may see us as crazy, we see ourselves as brave because the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. You can quote us, disagree with us, glorify us or vilify us, but about the only thing you can't do is ignore us, because we are the change makers of our time. MPS, raising and releasing change makers.
On the back of this new strategic platform, it was necessary to review the marketing and communication assets of MPS and how that delivers on the changemaker promise to our stakeholders and the marketplace. Our criteria of assessment included, firstly, the value of the current asset in terms of its symbolism and meaning, and secondly, the longevity and future-proofing of each particular brand asset. Starting with the MPS emblem. The MPS emblem is rich in its meaning and symbolism, but fails to communicate clearly on some of the basic requirements. For example, the emblem fails to mention school, or private school for that matter. The stylized blue lines on the left and right carry no clear meaning, and the spacing of the elements around the shield with an empty middle is visually problematic. What we wanted to maintain, though, were the geographical symbols or icons, the ocean, the mountain, and the symbols related to our mission and vision of a Christ-centered values approach with the resulting harvest that we are hoping for. The new MPS emblem therefore has a modernized shield shape with improved spatial arrangement for the MPS wordmark. It has an improved arrangement of the iconography in the center of the emblem and also introduces the circular dot from the changemaker positioning, with our Christian values front and center that, as mentioned, contributes to the harvest. Finally, we add the description of what we are and where we are located. And ta-da! You have the new MPS emblem. Just as a matter of comparison, the old and new badge adjacent to one another. Right, moving on to our MPS logo. We start with a simplified modern wordmark, to which we would like to add our changemaker symbol. The semi-smiley, as it has been affectionately dubbed, has the following meaning. It represents the slogan of raising and releasing changemakers. In reference to the high-touch education, it represents a teacher stretching out their arm to teach, to nourish, or to embrace our little changemakers. And lastly, it's a smile, of course, that represents the outward expression of our values in action. The emblem and the MPS logo will live side by side in various iterations. Furthermore, we sought to introduce some additional colors to create standout, but also to assist in the demarcation of our various faculties. Color is loaded with emotional and psychological meaning, and it will be pivotal in communicating to our various stakeholders at a variety of touchpoints. So for all corporate intents and purposes, the overarching main brand colors of MPS will remain the same. The dark blue represents strength and trust. The light blue represents calm and dependability. Yellow represents optimism and warmth, and white, purity and wholeness. This will be applied to our various communication touch points as follows: business cards, report cards, etc. For the MPS pre-primary faculty at Noah's Ark, we have introduced the colour turquoise or teal as a faculty differentiator. Turquoise is a combination of blue and green, and in terms of its psychological and emotional value, it draws on the calm and dependability of blue and the growth and health of green. This symbolizes the perfect, safe environment for growth and development. The main color scheme of Noah's Ark therefore represents the following: turquoise, growth and health; dark blue, strength and trust; light blue, calm and dependability; and white, purity and wholeness. In addition to the color differentiation, we will also introduce the following brand assets: the ChangeMaker dot, a dot matrix, the semi-smiley, the ChangeMaker and semi-smiley stickers, and illustrated characters and elements where necessary to communicate the unique environment of Noah's Ark. Here are some examples of their email signatures, event communication and rollout, and social communication. For the primary school, the differentiating color is orange. Orange represents the energy and cheerfulness of youth. It's warmth and energy ready to inspire critical thinking, creativity, and play. Here are some examples of their email signatures and social communication. The differentiating color for the MPS High School is pink. Yes, pink, and in this case, a very intense dark pink. It is symbolic of love, of passion, and of vulnerability. At MPS High School, we guide and support our high school students with compassion and love through this very challenging and intense life stage. Here are some examples of their email signatures and social media communication. So as you can see, our new brand gives expression to each of the three faculties, but maintains a common thread for MPS Private School to communicate our passion to raise and release changemakers into the world.
Hi everybody, I'm so excited about the new brand change that's going to happen here at MPS. It just aligns with everything that we're already doing at Noah's Ark. We lovingly guide our learners to be courageous, independent, and most of all, just love school. We welcome every family and make them part of our Noah's Ark family. I would like to send this invitation to all our parents to grab hands with us as we raise and release changemakers.
MPS primary faculty is affiliated with the IEB, designed to develop the core skills, steering learning towards critical learning opportunities where children want to learn from their mistakes, and want to explore further. We include the colour education methodology, which includes active reading skills, promotes critical thinking, and develops creative citizens. We want to reimagine schooling at MPS primary faculty as a learning hub where we play, read, think, and create. Join us on our journey where we raise and release change makers.
So here at Melkbos Private School, we understand that times have been tough. We understand that young people have really been thrown in the deep end with COVID-19. That's what inspired us to do things differently. It inspired us to set a new course and to plot a new route. That is why we bought into this ChangeMakers campaign. We really want our children to be prepared for what life has in store for them. We want to prepare young people not just for their high school career, but for life after matric. We care about our students. So I'd like to invite you as parents to join us on this journey where we raise and release changemakers.
Every amazing idea
started with a blank page, an empty space, a gap, and someone intuitive, taught to explore, to think, to dream, was willing to leap, to venture, to fall into the unknown and develop something amazing. At MPS, we know that one simple pen, idea or belief held by one creative and intuitive student, guided by one inspirational teacher, can change their community, the future, the world. We call them ChangeMakers, the resilient ones, equipped to outwit, outsmart, and overcome whatever the future may hold. So what are we doing differently to achieve this? Over and above the academic excellence, IEB curriculum, the natural setting, and our Christian values, we provide high-touch education in a high-tech world. More play, more reading, more thinking, and more creativity. Creating active readers, critical thinkers, creative citizens, change makers. Because we believe it's people, your child, my child, and not machines that will change the future, their communities, and the world. MPS, raising and releasing change makers.